Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
This is the weekend workout where all you need is this
and just that little bit of space.
And sunbeams. Look at those sunbeams.
It is such a lovely morning here in our studio, live every Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Perfect for a weekend or perfect for a work day. We'll start with a gentle body weight warm-up and then a body weight practice as we continue. Slowly at the head neck, do a little chin tuck in. I like those palms forward like Lauren's showing as well, but just modest with that chin tuck to start. Keep your eyes on the horizon and very low effort. Do your chin tuck down and then extend on the head neck, looking forward the whole time. Repeat once again, just set the 2 here as we get warmed up. Check in on the head neck, slow and steady. Find those end ranges and be happy living in the middle. Next, with those palms forward, let's go laterally bending on the neck and ear to a shoulder. The face stays forward, the nose stays mostly in the same space or place, and ear to shoulder and back center. Repeat one last time. Listen for the snap, crackle, pop. We're not here to celebrate that, but just attend to that. Create space by lifting up and over, returning to the middle. Lastly, the rotation. Keep the eyes over the nose and look right or left, and then through center, and then the other side. To make room, to avoid the snap, crackle, pop, pull the head up, return through the middle, and smoothly return to the other side, and then center. For slight variation, maybe just open up that stance. For slight variation, maybe just take those hands across the body, either right to right side or just gently across. Start by initiating with the shoulder blades retract. Let's do our side bend first, and up and over, and keep the rib cage over the hips, through center. That candy cane up and over action to side flex, return to the middle, and 2s again, up and over, to the middle, and then again. Return to tall. Forward flexion extension. So, retract the blades, a modest chin tuck, you might look at the floor there, and then that up and over rib cage action forward, and lightly pull down the ribs, engage those core muscles as you extend or lift up. Repeat again, retract blades, candy cane-like flexion here, up and over, and feel the effort to pull down as we then look to extend. Let's add the rotation in conjunction with that head neck. So, at the head neck, rotate to a side of your choice. Then keep the hips forward. Allow the rotation of the rib cage or T-spine next. Then head to center and torso to follow. Repeat at the head neck the other way. Slow rotation there. Squeeze the blades together. Rotate. Head center. Rib center. One more time. The head neck. The T-spine rib cage. Hips stay forward. Head front, body, and then rotate head. Rotate the T-spine rib cage, head center, and body center. Shake out of that, and again, be able to go everywhere, up, down, back, front, side to side, but also come back to the middle. Looks like Lauren's ready to warm up those ankles as we get to the floor, so take it away.
Excellent. Feet standing nice and rooted on the floor, hips are forward. Let's think from the belly button down is going down and from the belly button up is nice and lifted, but shoulders are relaxed. Then think about pulling the foot backwards in order to send the knee forward. Push some weight down into that toe, ball of foot, feel that go up the inner thigh and into that inner thigh muscle. Then use your toes to point. Gently flex and round over. And as you do that, did you keep those hips level or did you slump into that side? Let's keep those hips level and then go back to the tips of the toes, that ball of foot, and the heel comes down as the hip extends. Other side. Pull the foot back to send the knee forward. Use the toes to point. Gently flex around over those toes. Get back to the toe tip, the ball of foot, the heel comes down, the hip extends. Now pushing down into the floor, let's get on an elevator. Slowly start to rise up. Floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4, floor 5. That's the top of the building, by the way. Hold. Cheeks are squeezed, nice controlled up. Now slowly descend. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. For something fun, let's take those feet and rotate them out from the butt cheeks to that first position. Next, let's perform the same activity. Pull that foot to the demi-point, push some weight down. Then use the toes to point, gently flexing and rounding over those toes, staying tall on the other leg. Pointing point, demi-point, heel down. Other side. Push some weight into that. Really feel that this time. Then point, light flex rounding over, back to the toe tip, the demi-point, and the heel down. Now let's get back on that elevator again and slowly rise. 5, knees stay straight. 3, 2, all the way at the top, trying to keep those heels forward, inseams forward, butt squeezed, and then we'll slowly descend. 5, 4, 3, 2, and soft landing. Let's turn those feet back to center, and then gently press our knees towards over toes. Hang out there, rocking a little bit side to side, keep the heels down, and then drive the hips through to extend, squeezing at the top. Repeat again, knees bend. This time staying the same height, lightly peel those toes off the floor, heels off the floor. Toes would be tricky. And then heels come back down, hips extend. We're going to do a knee bend, heels lift. Let's sink as low as we can, but not go down to the floor quite yet, because I want to do one more thing. And then push up to tall, stay on your rise. And then this time, all the way down. Knees soft landing with or without your hands. Extend those hips forward, squeeze the cheeks, point the toes out the back, and just have a seat. Next, I want to do a quick lunge, if that's all right.
Oh, I do love a lunge.
So just getting into my space here. In our lunge, we'll bring 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Next, let's take our hands in our mind and direct them to our hips and our pelvis. And if this was a bowl of punch here, I want your bowl of punch to be nice and level. So think about it. Is that hip height? Yes. Let's gently pull it down. And we really tip to the back wall, arching that low back. Let's lightly scoop under. I have that light scoop under, that light pull into the front leg. I'm probably driving down that front bent leg and just holding. Now, punch bowl is going to get a little sloshy. Let's gently do a little bit of a hula circle, scooping out all the edges of the circle as you move the hips around. As you do that, I just did 2 one direction, try to do 2 in the other now. Notice how fairly stationary my upper body is. Fairly stationary this leg is. It's the pelvis moving around those bones and come back to center. Next, one last time on level, one last butt cheek squeeze. Pull the front leg in, just feel that tension pull together. Oh, it feels so good. 3, 2, and then gently relax. Let's put that leg underneath us and repeat on the other side. So the first thing we did was we thought about those hips. Was it hiked up here? Pull it down. Was it tipped to the back wall? Lightly tuck it under. Tucking under, pulling in, feeling the scissors right now for 3, 2, and then slosh that punch bowl around, carving out all the circles as if you're doing a light hula hoop. Doesn't have to be a big hula. Switching directions. Take your time. And then to center, back hip goes forward, front hip pulls in. Feel the tension together. Pull, 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 pull. Breathe for 3, 2, and then gently relax. One last thing for me, let's warm up those wrists. From the all fours position. So start here, hip hinge, hands come down. Let's put all 8 fingers down first. So from the baby to the indexes down, including those callus lines. Shoulders out of your ears, elbow pits forward. Rock a little bit from baby to index and baby to index, and then slowly descend to the palms of those hands. At the palms, let's screw in those elbow pits, rotating them forward, and then rotate them backwards. Rotate them forward. Somebody in class the other day said, "This is my favorite." And I said, "Oh, that's great." Because sometimes I don't know if it's your favorite. So it's so nice to hear. With those elbow pits forward and the elbows nice and straight, push the palms away from the floor, but keep the fingers down. And then slowly descend. Let's do that 2 more times. Fingers heavy, palms push away and down. Now, are you doing those at the same time and keeping your shoulders down and keeping your elbows straight? Trick, trick. Good. If we could, we're going to rotate both hands around 180 degrees so that our fingertips are facing us now. Our shoulders are down. All 10 fingers are pushing heavy into the floor as we lightly sit back. Breathing, sitting back. Then push the fingers into the floor and forward. Now let's add that little bend to the elbows. Can you bend the elbows a little bit? And then as you sit back, peel the palms away and flick the floor away, shaking that out. Excellent.
We'll be crawling in just a second, but first, let's revisit that lunge shape Lauren had us in, as you get a little bit of core and a lot of hamstring. So be careful on how we approach this next drill. So we'll start in a modified 90-90 position here on our forearm.
I didn't know how.
Stacked, shoulder on top of elbow. And we have, again, those 90-90 shapes consistent with Lauren's lunge from before. We're probably all so proud on that shoulder, nice and tall, just like in our getup. But right now, be a little bit of a slump. From that armpit, the lat, push the elbow into the floor. Then, whether the hand is on the rib cage or imagine a candle underneath, pull the rib cage away from the floor. Maintain that core tension or side plank. Now, put attention to that front foot and karate foot or dorsiflex on the ankle. Keep the knee in the same position and casually extend on the knee, meaning straighten the knee. But keep the knee as that stability joint that it doesn't move. When the knee is as straight as it can get, gently ask for permission to point the foot, that ballet foot.
May I point to the foot?
Then extend on the knee. You might be able to get a little bit bigger or longer stretch. Then karate foot or dorsiflex the ankle and casually bend it back. It might want to be an elastic band and slingshot back, but you're strong, be patient, be slow. Come back to the shoulder. Is it still packed? Come back to those rib cages. Are we laterally lifting or side planking? And with our karate foot intact, let's extend the knee one last time, as safe as it'll straighten. And then point the foot for our handstands or ballet and ask to straighten the knee yet again. Then return to the karate foot one last time. Return to the knee bend one last time. And then use the hand. Perhaps sit in our little mermaid sit here for a couple moments with the hand as an outrigger to push the rib cage over the hips, or find that strength to do so without. Then we'll switch and repeat the effort on the other side. So set up in that proud shoulder because it's strong, but then just for a second, get a little bit slumpy. Check the 90-90s on those ankles, knees, and hips. And then at the armpit or shoulder, push the elbow into the floor. Lift the rib cage away. Engage those sideline muscles. The knee stays stable, and with that karate-style dorsiflexed ankle, we'll straighten on the knee. You're safe straight, and then point the foot. By one more degree, ask to straighten the knee yet again, and then karate foot on the ankle one more time. Patiently bend the knee, returning to the 90. Recalibrate those rib cage shapes, and for one last time, dorsiflex ankle, extend knee, straighten. Then point the foot. Then straighten the knee one more bit. Then karate ankle, and then return with control. Push through the floor, hang out in that mermaid sit if we can, and breathe. And from there, I think we should get into our first crawl, Lauren, walking around like, ooh, that sounded
an elephant.
Elephant-ish.
So actually, I'm going to combine it, and an elephant meets inchworm plank.
Okay.
So let's first make our way onto all fours into what is known as the elephant, the A-frame, the down dog. Hands are on the floor. We're on our feet. Let's take it back one notch before we go one notch further. Come down to a bear hover. Your knees are bent and gently hovered off the floor. Take your tailbone and lightly tip your tailbone to the ceiling or anterior tip your hips. Now keep that position. Keep it leading as you lift your hips slowly up. Breathe. Take your time here. Gently try to press your heels to the floor. Next, our hips are going to come down, and we will be walking our hands forward into our plank position. I wanted to throw a little core in here. So squeeze those butt cheeks, keep the shoulders down as you pull without moving your hands towards your feet. Strong like 3, 2, initiate again, the hips, tailbone lifts, hips lift. This time we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. feet towards our hands, and then slowly walk the hands out into that plank again. Once you're in that plank position, the hips will drop, the butt cheeks will squeeze, pulling the floor together for 3, 2. Again, tailbone first, then hips lift, feet to hands. One last plank walk out. Walk through those hands, peeling the palms away, flicking the fingers like a nice soft cat. Into your plank position. Let's pull with that X pattern of tension. So without moving, right hand pulls to left hip, left hand pulls to right hip. 3, 2, tailbone first, hips lift second, feet to hands. And then from here, we'll push the hands away from the floor, tuck the chin, and slowly use our muscles in the front and the back of our spine to stack us all the way up. To tall, head is last to land. Whew. That feels like something.
Excellent. Elephants and introns and cats all in one. Definitely that inspiration for movement from the animal kingdom perpetuates into this practice. And then sometimes we follow the yellow brick road as well. So I think it's time for a little movement clock here. Get used to those spatial arrangements around you while working on our balance and weight transfers. Start in our little flamingo. Yes, we're at that zoo exhibit 2. And in that moment, we have a pointed foot down and a butt cheek that's squeezing connected to the floor. Return that to the floor and repeat on the other side. If this is a big challenge, maybe have a balance aid nearby, or think small shapes for the big win today. Return to tall stand. Repeat, but then extend the task of straightening the knee, landing with straight legs on both. The back leg stays straight. We'll pull ourselves forward and then press the foot forward to return back. Repeat on the other leg. Knee front, knee straight, both legs straight, knee land, then blend into that knee bend in the front and push front to return. Midnight, check, check. Now work to the 10s and 2s. Knee front, knee to that diagonal 10 or 2, point, land with straight legs, then blend the knee bend as you pull together and push for power. Repeat the other side. Knee front, diagonal, point, stiffen that butt cheek of the straight leg in the back and press. Repeating to the 9s and 3s. Knee front, knee side, knee point, squeeze your butt, blend the knee bend and push. Straight legs back in. Same thing other side, it's the knee front, the knee to the side, stiffen that standing leg, blend the knee bend, push, and together. Favorite ones are to the back, knee front, knee side. Now look with the head, look with the shoulder, and reach with the leg to that back corner. And then push to the back corner to come center. And then knee front, knee side. Then look and turn and reach and accept that floor and push together. And lastly, keep the knees stable. Touch the floor out the back, toe, ball, heel. The back leg bends, the front leg stays stiff, and switch and return. The knee stays stable, toe ball, heel on the ground. Feel that pull push tension here, and then press off the back and return to that tall position. And shake it out.
Oh, my turn again. Today we're going to visit our bear crawl. So let's first pattern it with our knees down and we'll advance from there. To get to the floor, we'll use our hinge. Chip chop on the hips, both hips go back, shins are vertical. Just feel that love through the hamstrings for now. And then gently tip forward, finding all 6 points of contact. 2 hands, 2 knees, 2 feet. Shoulders down. Patterning it right now, keeping your knees down. Brace your core by kind of pulling it in to be that strong tree. Next, opposite hand and knee are going to take a step off the floor. Opposite hand and leg. Let's continue that for 2 more in the forward direction. That bowl of water is, okay, before I continue, backwards for 4. Opposite still. That bowl of water is coming back into our life here, and now it's sitting on our low back. Come underneath. You can continue with that knee down, or we could hover off the floor. As you'd like, let's walk forward and backwards through this bear. That bowl of water is back on our backside, making sure that it's not tipping from side to side as we walk. Breathing, keeping that core really stable as we move our appendages. And then once we've gone far enough forward, let's go backwards back. Take your time. Keep the opposites. Keep small steps. Pressing the floor away through those hands. Last one or two. Find a soft landing. Pushing the floor forward and back, covering the knees. Lifting the hips. Walking the hands back to find that hinge position again. I'm hinged so much I'm off the screen. And then press through to tall. That feels nice.
It does feel nice to use those arms and excite that core with movement. The movement clock part 2. This time, take a single leg and reach it out the front with a straight leg. Avoid putting weight onto that leg that you could freely lift it if you needed to at any point in this workout. Whoa, just like that.
Freely.
So repeat the other side. A straight leg to the front, no knee bend on that straight leg throughout this drill. Light effort to lift. Return underneath. Other side now, return to the front. Now the standing leg does that bend to help that leg get a little further and push the hips forward to return. Other leg to the front with a straight leg, a knee bend. We have a super small cow tip or anterior tip of the hips here and push through. Diagonal to 10 or 2. And then reach it, very light tension on that foot as you are, and push the hip through. And then to the other diagonal, and push through. Return to that lateral side now, so out to that 9 or 3, keeping the hip forward, push the hip through. Same thing other side, straight leg reaches, knee bends with our slight cow tip. When you reach those back corners, just keep the hips forward, reach the leg back, and sit squat, pull through. Repeat to the other side, diagonal reach, knee over toe, upper body tall, just like Lauren there. And then repeat, leg to the back, point the toe if you can, subtle cow tip in the hip, and push through. And lastly, to the back, that knee over toe, push the hip through, and then shake it out. Be able to go everywhere, but come back to center with that fun wiggle.
Oh, that's my cue again. We're coming back to the floor to repeat a little bit more crawling. We moved in the forward backwards direction. Let's move in the side to side direction. So giving yourself a little bit of room to one side, we'll pull ourselves down into our low squat. Come on down. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you stay up a little higher and we keep our hands off the floor, or we're down here. Let's practice a hand, hand, and then with baby air, foot, foot. A hand, hand, a foot, foot. One more time in this direction. Keep it small, keep it light. Stay for one more second in this low squat, and then stand up tall. If baby air was good for you, or just walking in that lateral squat position was good, sometimes coming up into the other head. Let's add a little bit higher air. So as we pull down this time, it's a hand, hand, a foot, foot. Take your time, play around here, being that monkey from side to side. Come back to that low squat position, and then gently press to tall. Playing in all different directions is good for you,
Yeah.
and fun.
And fun. One more move from each of us here today. We're going to let Lauren continue with that upper body rib cage, upper body stuff and rib roll. But for me, we're going to use those squatting legs and go one last little weight transfer.
Let's.
So give yourself some room if you're training with a partner, or if your favorite vase or painting is nearby, don't hit it. So we'll start though in our squat plie here. Start narrow for the first one. Knees towards over those toes, and then just transfer to a single leg. And then back to that squat, and then transfer to a single leg. Now stand here and stand tall one more time. Now reach, without moving, reach that leg out, land toe ball heel. Let's pull ourselves deeper in that squat, and then press to a standing leg. Then point the leg, land toe ball heel, and alternate to the other side, and point. Stay nice and low at that coup de pied inspired ballet position, or climb to the knee or passe and straighten and land. and repeat. Stiffen the standing leg, point the toe on the elevated leg, and let's just do that one more time here today. Again, staying low or climbing, and one last time, stiffen the leg, climb if you wish, point, land, and stand. And then heel toe back to the middle, add a shake and a wiggle, and one last move here tonight, or excuse me, this morning.
The opposite of tonight.
Yeah, full days ahead here.
Feet are planted. For this one, I do like to stand slightly wider than my hips so that they stay forward. So again, we're coming back to the rules of the beginning of the workout. Belly button down, roots down, and stays forward. Belly button up, we'll try to move freely. With your arms gently across your chest and your blades lightly retracted, let's start as we did in the warm-up. Our head will rotate one direction, and then the upper body will follow and the hips will stay. This time though, let's add a slight side bend, so lifting up and over, lightly bend to that back corner. Next, we'll keep the blades together, we'll lightly tuck the chin, and I want you to try to roll through your cage around to center. So you're coming through the frontal direction to center, and then gently up to tall. Let's repeat the other way. Head, body, light side bend to that back corner. Chin gently tucks, forward flexion, but keep the blades together. In center, grow up to tall. We're going to do that again, but we're going to practice our extension out the back. Head, body, side bend. This time, abs are on, but think about lifting up and over to the back, and then once in center, last time, head, body, side bend, flex, lift up and over through that upper back, not the low back, and then to center, ribs to hips. Give that a little shake.
You got it. That has been our weekend workout.
Adjourned.
Half-hour installation of some crawls and some core and bodyweight strategies for mobility and strength. It doesn't have to be on the weekend. It could be anytime through the week. On Tuesdays, though, we train with our kettlebell. Thursdays, we train with our bar. And here we play with our strength. Balance your approach to your wellness and workout routine with bars and bells. And visit our website or our Patreon, or our website and then our Patreon account. And to the YouTubers at large, those members of ours, thank you very much for being here. And we'll do it again next week.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll train soon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.